might try to pick Delhi on maps with free sacred sites, right? Because you get extra gold trickle. But it seems like the reality is like French Pass and King of the Hill are actually phenomenal maps for them, despite the fact that like you don't get that ability to just chunk more gold into your economy, courtesy of having free sacred sites.
Yeah, so that's the thing about Delhi. It's current meta of it. You can play it on any map. It's kind of like the way Mongols is. You can play it on, camp maps because most civs that play on camp maps are, want to boom, but then you just get the sacred sites, right? You can play it on hybrid maps. You just go for the water with the fishing ships, and you can play it on super open maps. So you can literally play Delhi anywhere. And yeah, like you said, with 3 sacred sites, you have more gold, but it's harder to control. Meanwhile, on French Pass and King of the Hill, it has less sacred sites, but it's also easier to secure and kind of just put your whole army there and try to get a win that way. Not just go for the sacred sites for the income, but actually try to end the game with that one. So this is a very interesting matchup where most of the time you're trying to prevent HRE from picking up relics,
Mm-hmm.
but in this specific matchup, HRE actually needs to stay feudal to prevent sacred sites. Because if Delhi gets the sacred sites, Delhi will be able to deny relics as well with the units, and then it's just going to be very hard for HRE to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, HRE definitely has some potential around feudal. I've been saying for a while. I feel like a lot of people kind of sleep on the idea that this civ is 40% more efficient than like other civs in the start of the game as well. Like that can amplify into an early army presence. But just a side thought, because I thought actually it's quite interesting. I noticed on the mini map, this isn't exactly your normal rodeo in French Pass. The HRE player got a nice little shortcut through to the center of the map.
Yeah, this happened to me recently, and this is the second time I'm seeing it, so we'll see if it comes into play. Um, the good thing is the relics are two on each side and one in the middle, so it actually cannot be more fair, especially in a
Mm.
HRE matchup. So those are positioned properly. Even if B manages to deny the middle one, the HRE player will still have the two relics in his base to kind of just get it for free. So that's something that HRE will probably be very, very happy about.
Yeah, and that's the possible point, right? Like, if you're an HRE player, if you can at least get to those relics, you're quite happy chappy. You float your economy quite nicely. It's still 600 gold per minute, which when you put it in kind of like eco perspective, that's 15 villages passively generating gold in your economy, which is just a beautiful boost to your like 15, 20-minute timing in the game.
Yeah, it's quite insane. But DauT has really good chapel position. He's getting the wood, the gold, and the berries, and the sheep from it. So pretty much cannot get it any better than this for him. So that's always nice. When you have an HRE game and the resources kind of line up for you is always a good feeling. Then
Mm-hmm.
just putting chapel on like wood and TC for something like that. So that's a really good start for him, I would say. And on the other side, B, just getting all the upgrades. He forgot the forestry though.
Oh.
Hopefully he remembers that. But he's getting a lot of wood, and it seems like this from B will be just a normal build. I'm assuming barracks will come out soon or stables, and he will start trying to maybe wall off the sacred sites. On this specific map, you can actually just try to wall off your opponent, from the mountain to the edge of the map instead of walling off sacred sites because, you might as well, right? It's easier that way.
Well, the funny part is neither of them actually know about that secret passageway yet. Not fully, anyway. So it might just be, even if you do wall in DauT, he can sneak out. At the same time, this might be kind of like that 300 movie, the moment where they discover the secret passage and backstab them. Like it feels like something's going to happen. This I feel like one player is going to figure it out, the other one's not going to know about it, and there's different ways this can affect the game, right? Like from B's perspective, it could give him a backstab right into DauT's base unexpectedly, and from DauT's side, as you were saying, against that early wall in, he might have a way to still break out and pick up the relics freely.
Yeah, it might be a big surprise for one of them. But I think at a point someone's gonna click to send units and they're just gonna go through.
Yeah.
Probably Doubt more so than B because B is not gonna be just clicking in opponent's base to
Yeah, I
run
feel
in.
like at this point, DauT kind of has vision of it, but B could probably see this as just being a weird pocket and not expect it to go all the way through. Still, if you look at like the vision side, but we'll see if
Yeah.
that does come in. It feels like something is going on with the map generation, the most recent patches. I think the one that obviously comes to mind is Hill and Dale with its let's have a hill together generations. Do you like
Yeah,
this kind
I
of
heard
weird
about
curve?
those. I heard about those, but I actually haven't had a weird generation heal and deal yet. But I do want to say that I do feel that map generations are different. Not necessarily better or worse, just they feel a bit different on specific maps.
Do you like the idea of like random seeds in a competitive setting, or would you prefer that Age of Empires had something more akin to what StarCraft has with like fixed generations?
Uh no, not fully fixed. Like I don't want to play this week and next week on the same map.
That's fair.
But I would love if it was random, but it was balanced. So what I mean by that is if you have 5 goals on your side, I have 5 goals on my side, right?
Yeah.
And they're just randomly positioned, sure. But if they spawn 10 goals on your side and 3 on my side, no, I'll pass on that. Did B just figure out that there's a passage?
Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
he did. He just ran through. He's like, hold on a second. Oh. And he's actually done a good job with these scouts, just keeping eyeballs on both sides. So he already knows what's coming. He's already seen the horsemen being pushed out. He knows about the racks now as well, which is producing man-at-arms. It's kind of surprising that DauT isn't just chasing these scouts away at all. Just kind of letting them exist. He knows one of them is there as well.
Yeah, that's interesting because horsemen can just kill scout. Takes a little bit to catch up, but it can definitely kill it. And B mined 50 stone for
Okay.
a tower, but there's no tower to be had yet. So I'm assuming he wants to tower the middle, but he probably saw this amount of units and he decided against it.
Yeah, it feels like that's the case. With so many horsemen coming out, he knows he's not easily going to be able to actually shift out of his space right now. Almost just feels like it's a Chad play from DauT, where he's like, yeah, you can watch me. You can watch me send all these troops to your base. Good luck escaping the pain.
Yeah, he is actually sending 2 villagers north, so he's going to tower there, sneak out. Because he probably figures, oh, I can't do much here, so I'm just going to sneak around and build a tower there instead.
Wonder if he's going to do anything to secure the pass, because he's shifted away from the scout now. I don't think he wants to give the game away. But as it stands right now, Rack's archery range already down for B. He should be able to start shifting out a little bit more aggressively, but it's just frustrating. With so much open ground to cover, you can see how easy it is and trivial it is for these horsemen to just rapidly move past you with the spears.
Oh, wait. Wait, where are these workers going?
Yeah, so is he going for a tight, pin-in?
Is he gonna... I feel like he's gonna tower rush him, but where is he gonna put the tower?
Oh, maybe on the high ground at the pass. No, it has to be on the south side, right? Because he has spotted out this deer expansion, and in fairness, DauT doesn't have vision. You can see he's actually very blind in this area, so you could actually sneak in an outpost right next to the mill and then punish him completely.
Yeah, I wonder if it's worth it though. 2 villagers, mining time for this long of a trip is a lot.
Also, you stop your opponent gathering a little bit of deer, and that's it. Wait, where are they going? B?
Wait, what?
B?
Oh, is he gonna stonewall his side?
What? Is he gonna?
Oh no! Look at
is he doing a crawl?
Look at the middle north. He just missed 2 scholars with his horsemen completely.
No, he didn't.
Just ran past them.
DauT, no, DauT, come back! Oh my god, that could have actually been a big punishment. The Sacred Sites, remember, the moment he actually captures them, he instantly more or less pays for each of these scholars. So, frustrating situation as DauT. He'll finally realize and turn around, but this distance, I don't know. He might just about cinch the Sacred Site. It depends on whether DauT micros them onto the site.
Oh, the horsemen are coming back for it now. He realized.
Yep. It's like, damn it, how'd that happen? And he does get on the site. So even though he's just auto-attacking, he gets on top of it and actually stops the cap. In the meantime, in the center, the man-at-arms are being frustrating right now for B. Obviously, the spears don't trade that well with them, and they have enough armor that these archer shots are just pretty trivial at this stage of the game.
Yeah, and we do see Great Wall of B on the north sides, which, DauT will have no idea. But this is it's a huge wall. Also, I wonder why he didn't use the, there's a little mountain just above the north. He could have used that to kind of cut on 4 or 5 pieces of wall, save some stone. And DauT has no idea, so he's going to wall up that 1 relic, but he needs to remember to wall up the passage as well.
Yes. And I mean, you know, maybe B is just making a tribute to China. Like, this is probably the closest we're going to get to seeing China, or the Great Wall of China in this series, considering how weak that Civ is right now. So maybe this is just the next level alpha play. I've got all this stone and watch me use it. But as you said, he's definitely going to have to take note of the center. The cool thing, at least, is if the Prelate does try to go around through the center, that's a lot of patrol ground that B can actually address. He's still got a lot of troops active in the field. He just needs to be mindful of these horsemen maybe just baiting him and pulling him apart left, right, and center.
Oh, he's walling him off on the south side as well.
Oh, my
Wooden
God.
walls. And DauT is actually very close to Castle, so... You know, while this is a very risky 2-villager pull, because if this got spotted, then you just lose 2 villagers, right? And that is a lot of eco to lose this early, but, you know, he did I would say, not necessarily a super risky maneuver, but a risky maneuver nonetheless, and it worked out. You know, he got the wall up, but I feel like he forgets about the secret passage because there's no walls there.
It's almost like he's gambling on the fact that DauT doesn't know about it, which maybe I can kind of see to an extent that like DauT doesn't seem to have ever ran troops through here, at least from where.
Right, but you know what's going to happen? So DauT doesn't know about the wall, so DauT is right-clicking on the relic, and his prelate is going to go through the secret passage.
Oh my God! he's moving down.
Right? So yeah, there it is.
So DauT's going to like no, just enjoy my Bregnitz Cathedral, we're having a good time. Wait, where's Larry the prelate going? Hold on a second.
I was gonna be like, wait, what?
What's he doing over there? He's got on a stroll, you know.
If he actually walled that part off, this would have been really, really, really bad for DauT. But I think maybe B saw the passage, but you know he didn't actually see it. Like he revealed it, but didn't actually see it with his own eyes.
Well, the good news is B. Well, at least the bad news for DauT, rather, is that B should be able to assassinate this prelate, as he did just have eyeballs on barely with vision. Even the wolf is going to come to assist the blue player here, as it looks like DauT is definitely going to end up losing that prelate. But now he kind of knows what's up. He has to kind of have an inkling feeling there's got to be a weird reason why my prelate is drunk over there. And he's going to have to react soon, because that should have been the easy relic for him to bank. And B is fully denied that away from him.
Yeah. Very good denial. I bet DauT now is thinking, what the hell is my prelate doing there? What is this bugged game? Because he still doesn't know about the stone wall.
Oh my God, he's so close to revealing it as well. Like, I'm checking the vision. It's actually painful to look at. Oh. And the cool thing is
he knows there's a passage now.
But the cool thing is B's actually got a scout here, right? So he's probably mindful of the line of sight distances. He's like, well, I know he doesn't see this right now, so I can just kind of waste more time of his over in this area. He's even prepping the Stonewall Towers. A man-at-arms will finally reveal what's happening over here and probably be frustrated at the revelation. Because now you have multiple issues. DauT, he still needs to get his relics, but now he needs to address the center of the map where both sacred sites have been captured.
Yeah, so now, look, if you look at the south, B is building a tower. He's building stone walls. He's like, I'm securing this double-layer Stonewall Towers. And now he's about to see a bunch of units in the middle. So he's going to be like, where are they coming from? Because I actually think that B scouted earlier the secret passage, but he didn't actually realize that it's a passage. Because there's a bunch of units coming, and guys, if you invest this much resources to wall off everything, you can invest, 30 stone to all of this as well.
But Beasty, I think you're giving him too much credit. I think he maybe just actually forgot. Because remember, B did have a scout standing in that pathway before.
Yeah, he even moved into it a little bit. Like, it wasn't like he just saw it. He moved into it.
And now DauT with the most interesting battering ram usage I've seen in a while. I'm not sure exactly where this one is off to, but off to the races in this situation as DauT is able to break out in an unorthodox fashion. Mainly because B just allowed him to do so.
Yeah, we do see a 9 men-at-arms run by, and there isn't actually much in B's base to deal with this, because it's quite a lot of men-at-arms.
Because, well, you see, B's forces weren't just on the front. They're busy escorting right now the relics back. So he's trying to make DauT's life harder, but DauT is about to actually make his life definitely very frustrating, shall we say. I mean, man-at-arms definitely not going to be able to easily chase down these villagers, because I don't think he even got the movement speed buff. But it will still be frustrating.
He's going for a ram, so DauT is going to try to end or at least destroy a bunch of stuff. Okay, there we see the wall in the secret passage, and it's not going to go up. It just got prevented again.
No!
That
so
is
close.
Unfortunate.
Well, he's at least putting compounded defender to work elsewhere. You can see he's actually building walls across the central pass to ensure he at least secures that bottom sacred site. In the meantime, he's starting to hoover up those relics. My problem here is because he's been so fixated on the southern side of the relics, he might end up just giving DauT the northern ones. We can see a prelate now running up to the north to B side, where these should have been the easiest relics for him to bank.
Yeah, exactly. So he took the hard ones, but he left the easy ones, and DauT is like, I'll take those, I guess.
Oh, this is actually a pristine timing right now. B is in the middle of actually setting up his man-at-arms spam. The racks being built right now. He will get them up just in time, but now he needs to get the initial units out, or at least burn down this battering ram. And looks like the Scholar is going to walk over with the Relic. And remember, this is only a melee formation right now from DauT, so DauT has to shift away. We'll actually generously donate 1 man-at-arms at this rate, just about gets him out of range, but that deters him long enough. The Tower Elephant has come out, and now DauT is heavily invested in this. The good news, at least for him, is he is picking up these relics with the Prelates, so it's not going to be all for nothing.
Yeah, and he's actually picking the one that's super, super close to B. War Elephant will be very hard to kill for him, because men-at-arms are very slow, and War Elephant is just kind of waddling away at the same time. I think DauT should maybe try... He's trying to kill B, which maybe if he went for villagers and just kind of spread men-at-arms everywhere, that would have been much more efficient fight for him. Because now B is getting a lot of infantry, a lot of men-at-arms produced as well.
It kind of feels like DauT didn't expect the racks to be almost complete at that stage. Like, he thought he could jump him just before, but now it is starting to backfire. His man-at-arms are going to force him away. The only good news right now, if you think about it, for DauT, is the fact that it's compounded defenders that was chosen. So you don't have to worry about home blades. It does mean that your man-at-arms will still be quality over the delis. The problem is going to be these Tower Elephants, though, that you currently do not answer.
Yeah, he's building 2 archer rangers in the middle of the map, DauT is, which I'm assuming is going to be for crossbows, to try to deal with men-at-arms. And, I mean, like you said, if the situation remains as is, HRE will have a lot better men-at-arms. He actually needs to upgrade heavy maces to be able to just smash through Delhi's men-at-arms.
Yeah, like this elephant situation as well. Like, actually, once you have all your upgrades, the man-at-arms can deal with it reasonably well, especially now that they're juiced up on the movement speed a little. But ideally, you want to get some spears in the mix, or as you said, the crossbows, which haven't really been being produced so far for whatever reason. DauT has just built these archery ranges for them to exist.
Yeah, I mean, he is building a keep, which is very good for him. That is going to secure that position, you know, prevent Delhi from getting the second sacred site. And while B has everything walled off, he kind of did let DauT actually... Because DauT doesn't care about the bottom side. The bottom side is whatever. You know, there's 3 tree lines that he doesn't need yet. He got access to the middle gold, to the middle stone, to the middle relics, the middle passage. So he kind of still managed to get out, and B invested a lot of resources into all these walls, trying to prevent DauT from doing that, and he just kind of left through the little secret passage.
I mean, it's kind of weird. It's almost like B let his soon-to-be ex-wife's brother be his lawyer in the divorce proceedings. He decided that this wall was acceptable, and he only wanted 1 gold vein in the center, and allowed DauT to get... How many is that? Just a casual 7 gold veins in the center? Yep, that seems like a reasonable exchange.
Yeah, and the best part is he will probably not need too much of it, because he just put 2 bad boy relics into the cathedral, and let me tell you, that thing prints gold. There's a 3rd one maybe on the way. He's sending prelate to the top side, and once you get 3 relics with HRE, well, that is, I'll just say, very, very good for you.
Yeah, I mean, they're just printing out the gold ingots, stamping DauT's face on it, approving it for exchange on the market. And this is where it gets a little bit worrying. Like, B has somewhat slowed down. He stemmed the bleeding, but now he needs to actually do something with his slow army. Moving out with the man-at-arms and the war elephant. Ideally, he wants to bring a villager out and set up a forward base the same way that DauT did. But DauT already prepping the response. Crossbows are amassing, and there will be enough of them to address these war elephants.
Yeah, DauT has a actually pretty big army. He still didn't get the heavy maces, which is, I feel like would help him quite a lot. But there's so many crossbows, and only 2 war elephants, some archers. I feel like B will definitely not be able to break this because of the keep. But we'll see how hard each player commits.
Oh, B is even generously bringing the relic towards DauT. He's like, is this what you want so badly, buddy? Let me just go ahead and offer it to you. Forces him away, able to back off instantly. War Elephants buying a little bit of time as they start to construct the stone wall tower. But it feels like B is giving over a lot of ground. One of his elephants is going to fall, and DauT is confident now. He knows he has the firepower to push his opponent away. The problem is this. The high ground of the stone walls, reducing the damage that units takes, means it's actually very difficult now for DauT to push forward.
What I would love is if DauT actually said, I'm actually not going to fight you at all, and sent his whole army through the south side. He's breaking the wall there, and this is one of the things on this map that you can do. You can actually ignore opponent's army and just go into their base, kill all their economy. Because again, B is committing so much with these stone towers, walls, and elephants are extremely slow. So if he actually gave up this position and went south, he could do so much damage into B's economy line.
Instead, we're watching him do pathetic amounts of damage with several crossbowmen to one-man arms. This is definitely not the way. Unless DauT wants to build a siege, he needs to get out of it. He's going to be building mangonels, though, which usually are a great solution. But as we just saw with that reduced damage on the walls, it's not really the grand solution that you need. If anything, it feels like DauT needs to find a way of cruising up into Imperial. But when you look at the resource count right now, it just doesn't seem feasible.
Hold up. Look at DauT's base. Find his main base and go south a little bit.
Oh my god. Did he sneak in with a relic?
No, it's worse than that. Go, yeah, more south. There's a building from B, actually.
Oh my god! The irony of dropping a keep in DauT's base like this. That's butchering them.
It's killing a lot of workers. Like,
he
a
doesn't even
lot
know.
of workers.
He doesn't even
I don't
realize.
think he realizes. Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Like, what is the count right now? B at 58, DauT down at 45, 44, and it's continuing to decrease. B, with this very risky move with the villages. I thought it was a wall play from us. Like, where did these villages come from? But no. For the second time in this game, B runs a marathon with villages, and this time it most definitely pays off.
He actually walled off the secret passages. He's building a stone wall tower. But on the middle side, so it prevents DauT from coming back into his base.
Why wouldn't you? DauT still doesn't know you're here. You just ran around the back, dropped a keep, and now you get to do this as well. It just feels like DauT is on holiday in his brain right now. He's enjoying the sun in the center of the map. Nothing could ever go wrong. He's noticing the big pings. He's busy dealing with the elephants, but he's not noticing that regular alert noise coming from the back of his base that has cost him so much.
Oh, there's actually a small to medium raid in B's base, a little counterattack, and these Rams are actually going to do quite a bit of work, destroying a couple of buildings, production buildings, I think. I would really love if DauT just gave up this middle and just fully committed, but B is actually extremely overcommitting on the middle. He is trying to just run down this mangonel, and he lost all the elephants almost. He's about to lose all of them at least.
He's trying to back off now. The tower elephants, I mean, he may get away with one, but damage kind of done. And look at what DauT has done. He's actually managed to get the resources together in the mix here of this and is able to now tech up an Imperial, which means the damage that was done by this keep is going to become irrelevant very fast. Yeah.
I mean, Palace of Swabia, you know, the Cathedral Prince Gold, this one Prince Workers. So, yeah, it doesn't, like, honestly, that was a huge blow, killing all those workers. But with Palace of Swabia, it honestly doesn't matter. And it reaches a point where killing workers from HRE doesn't really do anything. They can just super replenish them super fast, and suddenly it doesn't look that bad for DauT, even though he did lose a bunch of workers.
I mean, it looks phenomenal in conjunction with that fight he took in the center, or rather B gave him in the center. And I guess this is one of the big problems, right? People think that they can snipe out the eco of HRE halfway through Castle, but that's dependent on whether you let them bank relics. If they had it, that's the thing. Even if DauT was a little bit later with his Palace of Swabia, the fact that he's getting 600 gold per minute means he can kind of afford a giant dent in his eco of 20 villages. Because as we talked about before, that's like about 15 villages worth gathering on gold at all times. You can afford to lose that in your eco.
Wait, hold up. So B is doing what I earlier said DauT should do. He's giving up on the middle, and I think he's about to destroy his wall. Or just build an entrance. I would just destroy the wall. And he's just going to go for DauT's main base because there's no army there. And DauT can't access it. Well, there's no point for him to enter.
He's also got a foothold, right? Like, he's still got that keep here. This keep that is eventually going to be a village fortress, which means you'll be able to actually push villages out of it and then expand it even further.
Just destroy your wall. There's no time. Oh, my gosh. There's no time to build it.
What? Like, B, you
And
just
DauT
saw him
still
take
doesn't
up.
know.
Oh
Or he's
my
not
god.
moving, actually.
Like, DauT, as it stands, it just feels like he's a little bit too cozy. He's going to try and move back down. He sees it. Uh-oh. This might take a while to get through. He actually needs a siege weapon to get through it. And meanwhile, the march is on. B is moving in. The keep being built by DauT, defensively trying to hold his own here. Now, the passive swabbing means he can replace a lot of these villages, but he can't afford to let the flood through continue from B. B does have the forced march, but hasn't used it just yet. He will ensure that the keep doesn't go down, and now DauT needs to get his troops back to base. He just doesn't have a quick way to get through. And after he breaches the first wall, he's going to be presented with the bad news of the secondary wall and keep being dropped by B right next to DauT's primary TC.
Oh god, and DauT initially putting only 6 workers onto his keep, and it will actually not finish, because as he realized that it's not going up, he sent all the villagers he had on a woodline, and he lost over 20 villagers.
But now he's sending the farm workers as well. The bombard's going to come out. Maybe that can deal with the elephant. As we know, the cannon is a natural predator of the elephant, but I don't think you're going to last long enough. The force march comes in. The bombard's going to be wasted. He does at least get the keep complete just in time. However, you still have a very big bee infestation in your base that you need to address.
Yeah, so, I mean, guys, Palace Wasabi is printing workers, but he doesn't have where to send them, because there's about to be keep on one side and the other side.
They're literally dying as they come out.
And the units are still stuck in the middle, by the way. Like, all his units are just stuck in the middle. 24 crossbows just chilling.
And I mean, like, B not deleting that wall, this comes back to pay off because now you can't even run around to the east. I imagine DauT has clicked and he's got no response. He's like, damn, I'm penned out of my own base. How has this happened? And now look at this, straight in, B just charges in deep with the man-at-arms, straight into the farmlands, just to force DauT to garrison everything. DauT, at this point, down to 24 villages, while B, appropriately it seems, on 69, as he's really just sticking it to his opponent.
Yeah, not looking good for DauT at all. And, yeah, he's just so far ahead right now. And there's no way for DauT to recover, right? He lost the siege workshop. He can make men-at-arms, but he actually has no food because he's not getting any food.
Oh, and he's
just kind of stuck in the middle.
Well, he's not even going to be in the middle soon. Look what's happened. B arrives with the War Elephants. Man-at-arms as well. He's going to force the full might of DauT to respond, but DauT, this is an ailment. This is a part of the disease. It's not the cause of the problem. You're still locked out of your base. Your main TC's under siege from a keep. You cannot build up a worker force, and you do not even have the food to build villages as it stands, with only 40 food remaining.
Wow, another keep going up, and
oh my goodness.
yeah, this is looking very, very rough right now. He manages to hold the middle, you know, barely, but there's Trebuchets now destroying everything.
At this stage, that right there in the center doesn't belong to DauT. That's the Foreign Legion. They're somewhere off in a different country, a different planet at this stage, because it just feels impossible to ever rejoin your main base. I mean, this
God,
right here.
Look at the workers just dying from the keep on the right side, on the wood. They're just
my God.
just dying.
Always seen. This is a problem. I mean, DauT, he's at least got back up to 34 eco, but just as quickly as he pushes it out, it's dying again. The keep is continuing to be constructed in the meantime on the south by B. B has now also constructed that stone wall tower. All of this farmland is denied, and it feels like DauT is running out of places to run and hide. He has barely any territory left to his name.
Yeah, this is looking very, very rough. Even if he had a third relic, guys, I don't think this would necessarily help him right now. It is looking very, very rough.
And just look at B's eco. It's cruise mode. He doesn't have to invest in a big army anymore. It's just war by towers, war by keeps. The only thing he's really spending at this stage is stone, and that's literally it.
Yeah, he just needs to hold, like you said, he doesn't even need an army, just hold this. There is a bombard, hold up. There's a bombard from DauT.
There's maybe hope, but there's a lot more keeps where that came from, and still this eco count down at 23. If he ever loses that bombard, it's pretty much going to feel like it's GG. But it looks like the bombard can at least get through the keep for the moment. There's the rush in, the power of the force march straight in deep onto the bombard, but are there enough here? I don't think so. Villagers Zerg on top of it, they repair it and they force him away. B, he tried a short change here, and as a result will not be able to assassinate the bombard. The bombard can now begin to counter out this encirclement.
You know, if there's any civ that can actually win from here, and I know this might sound crazy, it is HRE.
I mean, he's got 2 bombards now.
Yeah, 2 bombards. He's gonna clean it. He's 28 workers, but again, there's a printing machine right here, guys. It's live in front of you. He's about to start destroying everything. The middle is still kind of his. And B did a couple of attacks from the middle and lost all the armies that he sent. And while, you know, at the moment was like, it doesn't matter, the game's over, he doesn't really have any units, B, right? Look, he has 2 elephants and 3 men-at-arms in DauT's base. Okay, there's more men-at-arms. He just needs to try to protect these 2 bombards and slowly clean this up, and he can actually, somehow, possibly, bounce back. If it was any other civ, it would be 100% over. But there is a chance.
Yeah, this one's 95% over. You know, from humble beginnings, great things can happen. Now with the Tower Elephants arriving and more man-at-arms, this is where protecting the bombards might become a little bit dicey for DauT. He will back up the bombards. Elephants very slowly chasing in what looks like it's a highway pursuit between old people. And as they chase in, they're going to dish out some decent damage. 1 ram attack comes out, but the man-at-arms aren't quick to burn this. They're going to turn around now with the torches, but the villagers, the Congo line, just dance into a happier world here, hoping that they can stay alive. But 1 bombard's going to go down. Damage might be done to B's army, but if he gets the 2nd bombard, he knows this is over, which is why he hard commits. Elephant's taking a lot of damage, barely any man-at-arms left. It looks like DauT will once again get this bombard out and keep it alive. After the War Elephants will fall, B hasn't got much left here, but what he has stuck in now is Trebuchets. If they ever get rid of this bombard, he can actually start to just eradicate the remainders of DauT's base.
DauT needs to break this middle wall. Like, he actually still has 16 crossbows is quite a lot. Like, he needs to break that so he can pull in the crossbows back.
He doesn't have any crossbowmen anymore. They're all dying. The keep went down. B snuck in with 2 of them here. The Mangonel is going to be burst, and that means you've got 14 crossbowmen that feel irrelevant at this stage, stuck in the center. As you say, he never actually got through those walls. Even if he had, there's a secondary wall is a problem. And now the Trebs from long range are sniping out the keep. The bombards are out of place as well. They shifted to the south side, and he hasn't got enough villagers here to keep repairing it at this rate. 2 Trebs might actually be useful for once in a game of Age of Empires.
Right. I mean, a unique sight indeed.
Had to happen eventually, right? I was expecting 4 more buffs before it would be.
Yeah, you just gotta have your opponent on 10 workers, and then 2 trebuchets are really good guys.
Hey, your opponent is HRE, so that's more like 30 workers, right?
Right. I mean, you blink and he is back to 100 once again. So, I mean, Bombard's still doing work. You know, another keep's gonna fall, and I feel like B. Where's his army? I mean,
he's prepping bombards. Like, he's bringing them to the front. I think he wants to ambush what's remaining of DauT's, like, army. I know, you can see he can't actually repair anymore, so it's a good time that the bombard is sniping out the Treb. Otherwise, he'd lose this keep, and it really would be lights out. But he still hasn't gotten out of the hard place yet. You can see everything's just starting to burn. The villagers are starting to go to more risky locations again, but by the time they arrive, they instantly get sniped out by these keeps every time.
Look at the army count. It's 24 versus 31. And the thing is, DauT's army is like bombards, right? And then you have B's army that's, you know, trebuchets, springalds, men-at-arms. He's losing a bunch of workers in the middle, B is.
Oh my god.
He put up the keep, but he does lose quite a few workers.
He did butcher the remnants of DauT's army, though, and he's found the villagers on the gold line, so that's going to be DauT with another hit to his eco. It means that B might just triple him up on the eco count again.
I'm a HRE believer, actually, and if there is a miracle, it's called HRE.
Okay. I think most people say believing in DauT at this stage is delusion, but like you said, you know, he's starting to crawl back. It's going to be quite a climb. By the time he completes it, he's going to be a true Chad in form and in spirit. But he has got through the keeps. He started to actually get a little bit of breathing room. The problem is he now has to address these sacred sites, and it almost feels like B planned this all along. These mischievous, pesky Delhi players always get their sights one way or another.
Yeah, so he finally cleans up everything in the middle. There's no sign of DauT in the middle, no sign of life form of HRE. But he does clear up his base of the 3 keep that were inside of it, as funny as that is. And he finally regains the control of his farms, so he can continue printing workers. By the way, he never got textiles, which if he did, he would save a lot of workers over time. So guys, get your textiles, especially if there's a keep inside your base killing your workers. It's worth it. It's not that expensive.
Yeah, it's just like build it out your primary TC as well. Never stop just having the villagers hump inside the palace.
Never stop printing.
Exactly.
I
don't feel like this
DauT
is. I don't know.
DauT is like, okay, back to playing again.
I don't even know what they call this, the Palace of Swabia. It feels like it's not a relevant name. Either call it the Love Hotel or the Palace of Humping. Like it doesn't feel like it's appropriately named. This is a ridiculous landmark. For anyone who's not familiar with what this does, as you can see, it makes it so it only costs 25% of the time to produce a unit, and it costs 25% of the resource. It is stupid. After one drop-off, a villager has paid for itself.
Yeah, it's an insane landmark. Trebuchet with 4 health, taking down a mill.
MVP
that is
right
actually
there.
the... Oh, he has to... Look, DauT has 2 workers above Trebuchet. He can actually kill it.
Yeah, but the Springles are actually going to deal with the bombard, maybe. The villagers here as well, so although they get rid of the Trebuchet, it will cost him the bomb. Oh, no, he's going to keep it alive. Oh, they might be able to complete the wall in again, though. Yeah, he even leaves one behind. Josephine's like, wait, no, I'm with you guys. Nah, we can't hear her screaming. Just build the wall. Build the wall quick.
Yeah. She's still going for it.
If she actually does this... Okay, no, the crossbows realize what's happening now. Damn. Could you imagine if DauT just didn't notice the bombard being burnt down that slowly the whole time?
In this game, I believe anything could happen at this point.
That's true, right?
Hey, guys, I'm just saying, he is still very far behind, but he's 53 workers versus 86. Army supply is exactly the same.
He does need to prep soon. I mean, what was the time on the Sacred Site capture? Was it about 34 minutes, maybe around there? So he's running out of time to actually shift out and try to deal with B in the center. And B has got his own bombards now, has set up a network of keeps. It's not going to be easy for DauT to siege into, and he's still very much in recovery mode.
So DauT, well, it's hard to realize, right, because he doesn't see the map, but B is actually committing to the north, like everything, right? Yeah. He has 3 keeps in the middle, right? He's building the walls on the north side, but if you look at the south, there's just 1 line of wall, and that's it. He can access the sacred site. There's no units on it. 3 knights, 2 men-at-arms, 2 prelates, and 2 bombards. So DauT can actually take the middle now on the south side if he just goes for it. But obviously, you know, it's easy to say when you're watching and you can see where B's army is. But B is like heavily overcommitting on the north, and he really needs to reinforce the south side.
Yeah, and DauT was sieging through the walls to the north as well as south, right? So it's not completely obvious to B where his opponent's going. The problem, of course, you have is these walls do give vision. And in fact, when we look at it from B's perspective, he does see this entire army moving because DauT can't afford to wait around and burst every single one of these wall pieces.
Yeah, B pulling a lot of workers, walling off. So guys, prepare. You're about to see a lot of walls being produced. And I think B is just going to make layer after layer after layer. But there will be more bombards coming. Yeah, there's 2 more slowly walking there. So these walls, while they're buying him some time, you know, they're about to just die extremely fast. And don't forget, guys, Delhi is Imperial, but their upgrades will be finishing in about half an hour. So it doesn't really have any effect except wasting all your food and gold on it. So unless the game goes for another 30 minutes, basically DauT has a whole age up on B.
That's true. Siege Elephant is at least finally going to be there, so we'll get his crossbowman on top of his Tower Elephants. I'm just looking at some of these other ones. I mean, you know, 9.5 minutes still to go on angled surfaces, which is, of course, the aggressive ranged damage tech for Imperial. It is going to be quite the slog, but in the meantime, he's going to get more of those walls down. He did actually keep these prepped up. The cool thing that B actually could do is he could drop the walls amidst the firing of the cannons and then instantly get the first round of trades in favor of him on the bombards. But now that the count is going up for DauT, that's going to be harder to achieve. The good news, at least for B, is how quickly he is able to reconstruct these stone walls. The bad news for DauT is he still doesn't really have a clear, emphatic answer to get in and instantly punish these villagers each time. I say that.
Yeah, he's now super... Obviously, B, you know, sees the whole army here, so he's now super committing on this side. There's so many walls going up, and this is going to be just very hard to break. Oh. It's not so much of can he break it, but can he actually reach the middle in time?
Yeah,
because this is gonna just buy so much time, just constantly re-walling and remaking, and yeah.
Well, the way you have to think about it is he was delayed that long by, what, 2, 3 villages total? Then we look a little bit north and we see that 21 villagers are hard at work for the glory of the Delhi Empire. And at that stage, you have to question if DauT will ever get out, as now it's going to be right in by the Knights, trying to get on top of this. See the villagers, but they're a distraction. You need to go for the crossbowman, if anything. Doesn't really matter as much about the outpost, but instead he wants to deny this, unable to do so. That is going to be constructed successfully by DauT. DauT is able to prevent another wall going up here. That was the main reason he done this. The problem is he still needs to get through that new line of walls and then instantly drop an outpost before a villager is out here reconstructing it again.
He just gave up all his knights. He just walled them off in. And, you know, while...
Isn't this the strategy overall
Wait! DauT can just go around.
Yes, but that wouldn't be as interesting, Beastie.
Oh my God.
I haven't got a good reason for that. He never looked. B gambled that he would never look.
I just noticed, I was like, oh, the bottom is open.
Yeah, but you never look, right? Like, I mean, come on. Like,
that is pretty funny.
Scouting wins games. You know what else wins games? Big fights. He just wants the big fight. He's got his man-at-arms. He wants to use them. Lance is going to chase towards him. Bombard's at least shifting around, and that's preventing the wall from being reconstructed. But they're about to get the bad news that there's even more goddamn walls here. It just feels like you're never getting anywhere. 1 step forward and 2 step back, and that step forward exposes the bombards. Lance is moving in, trying to burn them down. But he keeps cancelling attacks. He's never actually finishing them off here. We'll finally get through one of the bombards, second one to fall. And all of a sudden, DauT's hopes of getting through here feel like they've just gone up in flames.
Yeah, I mean, B's economy is just crazy. Like, he lost like 10, 50 Lancers earlier for free, and now he's, you know, back to like 20 plus that he just had in that fight, so... Yeah, it's just looking rough. Maybe you should try the secret passage, but it might be too late at this point.
Yeah, that secret passage has a lot of layers this time around. And then there's the keeps beyond it as well. It just feels like, at this stage, DauT has this frustrating situation of it's this or nothing, right? Like, your army's pretty static. You're prepping siege workshops in the front here. If you shift anywhere else, you're just going to lose all your progress in the blink of an eye.
But let's think about this, though, guys. This game, DauT had 10 workers, like 5 minutes ago. And now we're in this situation where he can beat B's army. That is just, to me, that is just insane. That is even an option, but that's
hey man, you know,
the relics is Swabia, boys.
China's got the one kid policy, you know, here in HRE, it's all the kids policy, you know, condoms not allowed. All of a sudden, he's almost at the counter B. The problem is really B has somehow kept up, despite how many villages he sacrificed, with just 1 CC this entire time. I don't think he ever built a secondary one. That's the more impressive detail. But now the fight goes on. Elite Lance's upgrade is finally there. And oh no, DauT! He's pinned in between the remnants of the stone wall and the trees. There's no way to get out of this. He's going to be butchered en masse. And after you lose the side wall, you know you're going to lose the bombards. And DauT, although you have to give it to him, the perseverance on this lad, you just have to feel that this is completely and utterly futile.
Yeah, he tried his best, you know, he almost broke through at one point, but B managed to hold. His upgrade's actually just finished for his Lancers, so there we go, GG's.
Yep, B gets to finish looking golden, and he's looking golden in this series so far. That's his 2nd point on the board. And DauT, I mean, you can talk about the phenomenal turnaround, the bounce back, coming back from the verge of defeat only to then be defeated. And that's the bigger issue, right? If this finishes with a win, what an insane morale boost this is. But to go over 40 minutes the way you did in this game and still come out with a loss, DauT's got to be ripping his hair out.
Yeah, I think that depends a lot on the player, kind of the way the player itself looks at that. For example, my mindset in that game, I had, you know, if you're DauT, right, you're like, okay, I had 10 workers and I almost broke through, right? Mm-hmm. And for some players, they'll be like, man, I just played this for 40 minutes and I lost. But some will take it as like, oh, I was so far behind and he couldn't kill me for 45 minutes. You know, that's pretty good going into the next game. Obviously, he's not happy about the loss, but it kind of depends on his mindset and how he looks at things. So, Yeah, definitely a long one. And let's not forget that B just played two of the best civs, right? He played Delhi and Mongols, and
Hmm.
DauT still hasn't used any of those.
That is true. Down, like I don't think this one as much was a throwaway. Maybe this was just him just getting warmed up, right? We're just gonna see better and better out of him. I mean, it's a fair thing you said, right? If anything, when he went down to that ridiculous villager low, he probably was like, past that point, if I win this,